You know him, you love him. Outkick the show, whatever the hell. Clay and Buck, whatever. Clay Travis, all right, let's get right to it. Indiana, -8.5. I've never seen a coach do this. I've never seen a coach talk about it. And Cignetti said, yeah, I think it's a sucker bet, something like that.
That's really funny.
Well, what do you think?
I took Miami plus the 8.5, and right over our shoulder right now, you can see him warming up. I think it comes down to how Carson Beck plays. If Carson Beck can avoid turning the ball over, I think the game goes into the fourth quarter. It's tight, defensive struggle. You saw how they matched up with Ohio State. I think they have the horses to run, but can they avoid turning the football over? I think that's going to be the key. Can Carson Beck protect the ball?
I think Indiana gets up 30 in the first quarter and cruises to a freaking win. But let me go to Carson Beck for a second. Here's what I'm curious about as a former coach. He was great in the last play, or the last possession. Like, not good, I mean great when he had to be. I'm curious, does that momentum carry over? Because if he does, Indiana may have a problem.
Well, look, I think he's playing with house money.
Yeah.
They're the 10 seed. They already beat A&M. They already beat Ole Miss. They beat Ohio State. Nobody expected them to be here. I think playing on your home field psychologically, even though it's going to be an Indiana home field advantage, nothing is going to blow them away or intimidate them. Again, I think it goes to the fourth quarter. I like the under, and I like Miami to cover.
Boy,
but I think you guys win by 3.
We are exact opposites. I like the over, and I like Indiana to win. I got to ask you, because you did a video on it. I did a video on it at halftime of the Peach Bowl. I said, at this point, Indiana has got to be considered among, if not the greatest college football team of all time. At that point, now you're playing a national championship game. You did a video on that as well. Give me your thoughts on that if they win this game.
If Indiana wins this game to go 16-0, I don't think we're going to see very many 16-0 teams in college football, period. I'm not saying they're the greatest, but they have to be in the conversation. LSU 2019 to me is the most talented, but we're in a new era. The Big Ten has been the best team in college football this year. If you beat Ohio State, you beat Alabama, and you then go out and blow out Oregon back to back to back, and then you beat Miami, that's as good of a quad postseason as you can possibly imagine. I think you have to put them in the case for one of the greatest, if not the greatest teams of all time.
See, this is all new to us at Indiana. We're all like waiting for the bubble to burst, but it's not. And I was talking to Greg McElroy earlier, and he told me, he goes, Dan, I have not seen a team break the will of Alabama like Indiana did. And that has to factor in when you're having these type discussions, in my opinion.
No doubt. Look, I think there is no doubt that Indiana is playing at a different level of confidence because they have supreme faith in two people. Mendoza, who is always going to make a play so far this season when they need it, whether it's the pass at the end against Penn State, the great catch, whether it was the drives against Ohio State, the road win against Iowa. They've been challenged. They've come through. Mendoza, and they believe in Cignetti. And that is worth, I think, 7 to 10 points by itself.
All right, last thing. You're perceived as Mr. SEC.
Yeah.
All right. What happens with an Indiana win here, 3 in a row for the Big Ten? What happens to the conference discussion?
Well, I mean, I think, look, you have to analyze and acknowledge that NIL has changed the game and that the transfer portal has changed the game. And the advantages that the SEC had in a pre-NIL and transfer portal era have vanished. And the Big Ten is now the straw that stirs the college football drink. Because you're going to be talking about Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, boom, boom, boom. It's hard for one conference to win a couple in a row, much less 3. The vibe, the culture, it's shifted north right now. And we'll see whether the SEC can answer.
You know what's really weird about this? In my lifetime, Indiana University football has never, and I mean this sincerely, never had an optimistic season where preseason polls put them first, second, third, or fourth in the Big Ten. We've never had that, Clay, which makes this even more remarkable.
Not only that, I mean, I think you look at, it's actually good for college football. Think about this. Duke won the ACC. Vanderbilt went 10-2 in the SEC. Indiana wins the Big Ten and is the best team in college football so far this year. If I had told you all 3 of those things were going to happen 2 years ago, you would have called me crazy we have had a major paradigm shift, a culture shift, a vibe shift that is real, and we'll see if it continues tonight.
There you go.